Incremental greetings. Today I want to share with you about the template flags. It's a rather advanced feature. It's actually not required to use incremental reading with this feature, but comes in handy in some particular cases. So in this video I'm going to share everything, all of the details, use cases of this feature. And as always, since this video will be kind of long, there will be chapters. So if that's the case, that a chapter doesn't interest you or is not something you're going to use, you can skip to the next chapter. Before digging into the template flags, we need to know one difference. We have delete template extras and skip source extras. So first we need to understand what's a template, what's an item without a template, and what is the source. So let's start with this very same, no, actually it's a concept, by the way. So in this case, I only have one HTML component, which is usually the case with articles. If you don't have an image, will be just the HTML. Cool. And then here you have two columns, SXT and TXT. That stands for source extra and template extra. And we need to understand how this behaves before moving to the flags. In this particular case, there's no template set in this element, so therefore nothing could be extra. So now let's apply my article template. That in this case, even if it's an article, already includes images. Up to 4 images. Cool. In this case it's a concept, I don't care, let's do it. Now it looks different, because, among other things, the template also links styling. What happens now is, hey, I only had one HTML component. How come now I have 3 images and even 1 text? Well, because everything here is from the T. That means template extra. All of those components are being added because of the template. That means that if now I check the source with Ctrl-Shift-U, or I think I can use the mouse, let me check, template. Yeah, view source, Ctrl-Shift-U. That's how it looks. Oh, it looks as before applying the template. I have the styling again. But not only that, if I press Ctrl-Shift-O to see the components, I don't have the other components. The components that are extra for the template are not from the source, are only being seen here in this view. So this doesn't make much sense how it is implemented in SuperMemo. It doesn't make much sense. So overall, this, now in this current state, is the source view of the element. And this is the element with the applied template. So not only is just how it looks and the coordinates of each component, is also which components are actually in the element, as you can see. So keep this in mind. The flags may be contained already in the template. So if I go to the template registry and I select the, for instance, article picture, no. This already has, if I can right click, these already have flags. And the element in particular that I want to apply a template will also have flags, or could have flags. So both could have flags. And then it's, what do we do when both have flags? Which one we follow and we want overrule, right? In this case, it's an article now. It has a template. So now let's actually detach the template. Cool. So now if I press Ctrl-Shift-U, it doesn't happen anything. That means that the source, template, and view source is actually even disabled. Why I cannot check the source? Because it's only the source. There's no template applied. So it's only one case. Cool. Even though, what? How can I be in the position that I don't have a source, yet I have the article applied. Doesn't make much sense because I detach it, but detaching the template doesn't unset the template for adding more confusion. That means that if I reapply the same template, it's the article. It's the article, right? Let's apply the exact same template. Well, in this case, yes, it's because it's a concept. No worries. Now what will happen? Hey, it looks weird again. And golden nugget. Do not take the article, well, the template applied as a golden rule. That, oh, all of the elements that currently in my collection has this template applied means it will be this case. Not really. This depends what you have done before. If you detach template, you have yet a different template and you change that to another template, and those templates have different components, it will be messy. I know it's a long introduction, but this is required in order to understand flags, as you may, and you will see in the interest of the video. Now in this case, it's a random example that I use the article picture. In this case, I have a picture filled in. I actually have 3 image components, but only one is being used. But well, at least I have one. Cool. So now, before this, I will use this one. I will delete this. I need a template with no images at all. Image components, I mean. Okay, let's check. Yeah, only the HTML, but it's an article, not a concept. Let me check the source. Let's check the source. Oh, cool. So now I will save it as article, nothing else. Cool. But wait, I saved the template without actually pinging it account to the flags. Let's keep an eye on that. Okay, cool. So now let me actually unclick that. So now what happens? If I apply the template of article, I will have, in my case, images components. They are back. Here you go. All of them are back with even a text component. Now if I apply a different template, research, it changes the color. Oh wow. It only changed the color. In this case, I'm losing again the components that were extra. But let me check the source. Hey, the source is the same. So in this case, I'm only changing the color, the cosmetics. Let's change to yet another one. Oh, precisely, that will be interesting. Kill image component for topic. In this case, nothing happened, right? Well, because I didn't have an image. So let's go again to this element, which has an image. Well, there are 3, but only one is being used. Now I apply the template. This template, I can guarantee, is using flags. But I will first want to show the result and then how to do it. So what will happen? Kill image components for topics. What's going to happen? Oh, voila! The image is gone. Control Shift. Oh, only HTML. If I go to the source, it's still there. Even though now what happens that, yeah, I have the image, but wait, that's the source background. Why now is blue? Black, that's how it is now with the template and the source. So I already modified the source. The source was never this color. That's because I have been applying different templates. Now let's say that I'm satisfied with this. So if I apply impose template, that's template, that's optional. What happens now? That the image is gone. Now I can no longer go to the source because what was being rendered through the template becomes the source. That is why impose template does. So now I can go back, article nothing else, for instance, and nothing happens. There's no, I get the new styling, the same as the to start with, but I no longer have the image. So in that case, what I actually did is that I killed the image components. And this can be useful if I want to do this by branch. I open this, I filter only the topics, well, only for the ones that are not suspended, so only the memorized. So in this case, because of the flags, I have this use case, apply template, kill the topic image, yes, I'm not done, and now is I will impose a template, so the source, how it is rendered through the template becomes a source, therefore deleting the extra components, and now if I want to, that's optional, I can just have this detached. I can apply the template of article nothing else. That in my case will be the default template. So now, if I click, none of these now have the image of the glove, the SuperMemo glove picture. How is that possible? Because of flags. So now let's do one example. In this case, I still have this. Why it's not deleted? Because that topic was not in the browser. So now let's pay attention to the flags. In this case, I have article picture. This template is skipping source extra already. Source extra, that means that whatever component here that has a T, which stands for true, it will not be shown when the template is applied. And in this case, the opposite is true. I have template extras, not source. Okay. Now for the sake of the example, okay, so I just linked two random images that I found in my registry. So now what happened is that, oh, wait a second, those are still extra from the template because my article picture only has one picture. But what happens if you remember that the article without the picture has three? So let's apply. The article includes, it's not the built-in from SuperMemo, I modify it. It's cool. Now, oh, it looks weird. But hey, I only have the text that is extra because that is a byproduct of when I did a template that I didn't want that. That's undesired, but I leave it here still. And I have the three images. Wait. Weren't there three image components? How can I see a image component? It's not an image component, it's a text component. How you can know that? Here you go. It's a text component. That is because I wanted to take notes and so on that were not from the article or ChatGPT and so on. Okay, so now let's say that I want to get rid of this text component. And only that, I don't want to get rid of the images. So for this, I'll be using, so we'll get rid of this. Modify all elements using this template. Cool. So what will happen now? Let me see another article. I have the three images. Okay, now I apply that article template. And cool, now I only have the image components. I no longer have the text components because I just straight delete them from all of the topics, all of the elements that were using this template. That's a cheap solution. That means that any element that had some text filled in will be gone. You actually don't want that. You want a more fancy way to only get rid of the ones that are empty. That means, like, for instance, those two image components that are just empty. I want to get rid of that. So in that case, I will be using templates. What I want to be sure now is that this is not the source. This is the template version. So the template has, let's check, skip source extras. And the definition says, when applying a template, delete all source components that do not match the template. So let's check the source. That's the source. So that is what will be taken into account when applying another template, different of the template that is applied now, but not limited to. If I reapply the same template after attaching it, it is also in this use case. So what do I have here? HTML on one image. Cool. What flags they have? Delete template extras. Oh wow. I have different flags for the same element. The source and the template rendered version of the same element have different templates. What's going to happen? So the source says, when applying a template, delete all template components that do not match the source. In this case, I have one HTML and one image. So what I'm going to add here is something silly, one sound component, because it will be easier to understand if I only do images. So okay, so what's going to happen now? I have one sound component that is not found. If I go now to the, I have no template. Okay. So now what's going to happen? Ctrl+Shift+M. I apply article that has images, if you remember. Now no longer a text. Accept. Hey, where's my sound? It's gone. Well, let me check the source. Hey, it's here. It's not gone. Why? I have two extra image components from the template. But how come only the images? Let's check that with the source again. Let's check what this doesn't add up. Let's check. Template. What? Now, how come the source view of the element doesn't have any flag checked? If the only thing I did is applying a template. This shouldn't affect the source, right? Because I didn't impose the template. So let's check this again. And I have this one. So from the applied template version, I have still the flag. In this case, from the article template, it says skip source extras. That means that whatever the source view, whatever this view has that is not in the template, skip it. What happens? The template has 3 image components. In this case, the source only has 1. Okay. That means I have more exceeding. No issue. The other 2 will be empty. Here I have 1 image components. How many do I have in the template? None. That means that some component from the source cannot go to the template because the template doesn't have any sound component and it will be skipped because of this flag, skip source extras. And now if I do apply attach template, impose template. Let's do an example. I won't detach it now. Let's see what's the difference. Now check the source. The source is itself, but it looks the same. But how come now I can check the source? Because before it was grayed out. That's because I didn't detach it. I said no. So if I go again and detach it, which is the extra step, now I should not be able to check the source. And here you go. Makes sense. So at least now we learned how to actually set a template flag from the source to the applied template, and we want to delete stuff. So what we did, to recap, partial recap. So if I want to get rid of the image, I will apply a template that has no image. In this case, is the article nothing else. And I will get rid of the image. If I have, let's say, a sound component, or whatever component you may have, video, and the more obscure ones, it will be the same. What I need is that the template that I apply does not have that component, or less components. Let's say that instead of getting rid of the images altogether, I only want just one image. So in case I have two, the second will be lost. And that's one flow, getting rid of components, exceeding components. What if I want the opposite? I will just select the other flag. Instead of skipping source extras, I will delete template extras. So in that case, hey, I really don't want those extra empty components. Doesn't make sense. I only want to get rid of the sound component or the image component, or in this other case, I don't want to add, let's say I only want two. So now I will resize this. I will get rid of this. Here to go, sayonara. And I will resize that. I didn't save, so what's going to happen? That's the art. Now it says no template. Cool. Save, save. And now I will do an overwrite. Now that means that all of the elements that have the article will be affected, because now there are only two image components. So now let's go into the browser and let's pick some of the okay, here's one. What an irony, that is one of the images that I selected at random before. So what happens? Why is so small here? Let's check what happened. Hey, that's the text component. I have now three images, but why do still I have the text component? Didn't I get rid of this already? I did this, delete component, and then yes. And then select for all of the elements using this template. That's not what I expected. But now wait a second. That's very weird. Now how come three images are seen before? Oh, very easy. It's because it was on top of that. And that's a good example. Why? Because now where's the size is the full screen, is what it did before, and the other image cannot be seen because it's below, it's behind that. How come is that? Hey, wait a second. I only had two image components in my template. Why the third image component is not an extra? Let's check this again. Template. Article. 1, 2 is, oh shoot, I'm sure I did what I thought I was doing. How many image components there are here? Let me check if there's another one here. Nope. There are only two. How come? Then, if I only had two image components, I have three images. Well, because this in particular had three already. But how come it's not as an extra? Because of flags. Let's check that. Template, flags, delete template extras. Nothing is deleted. Let me uncheck that. Huh! What on earth? So now this is a source extra, the third image. So what you see in the source or text extra, the true or the dash will be false, is actually depending on the flags as well. So it's not only when you apply and you have a dynamic change. No. Even just changing the flags without applying any template or attaching the template, this is already affecting. So let's add it. Template flags, delete template extras. And let's see. It's here. Source extra. True. Hey, why aren't you skipping this? By the way, Acthismus is, I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. Why is this here? It's extra. I don't want it. I don't want it. I want to skip the source extra. So how come if I right click and I go to template and flags, is, oh shoot, I was deleting the template extras, not the source extras. And how you go? Now it's gone. The asymmetric boss, the painting, it's gone. But if I check the source, view source, here you go. Now makes sense that, okay, now in the situation that, what on earth? Why now the T is not there? Because I'm seeing the source version of the element that happens to be the same template. Because I haven't changed the template, I only changed the flag. Therefore, it will look exactly the same, everything the same position. The only difference is the image. Here you go, pam, pam. The only single difference is this. And every time, now there's no T, check source. And now there's no even T, there's not even the image component. So now if I restore it, the element back in the source, wait a second. So now instead of having the T, showing the T or not, now it's just showing the fourth component, the third image component, a thickness, or not. Is showing or not showing. Now it's showing source. Now it's not showing. It's, oh wow. So here is one kind of hint that, hey, if you see true or dash, means you are using flags in a certain way or direction, let's say. And if it's just disappearing or appearing, it's in a different way. From source to template version from source. It's not the same. The words doesn't help because it's very confusing. When you have source and extra, and delete doesn't actually delete. It's just, it's hidden. It's not deleted unless you force it by impose a template. And skip means that it's prevented to be added to components in the template. You are not deleting anything because not adding, preventing addition doesn't mean removing. It's playing with semantics here. Okay. Overall, I think that was not confusing. That there are two flags more: check source and check template. And this is what we said at the beginning: is, hey, in case I have a mismatch, both my source is having a flag and the template version that I will apply also has a flag. Which one do I choose, right? Both cannot be satisfied. They are contradicting each other. This is for this case. Check source and check template. Template is the version of the element that will be rendered according to the template I will attach. And check source is how it is now. No, not really. Is how is the source now is the same as the template-less version of the element that I have now, which doesn't mean necessarily the element with the applied template, because the template can already have something extra. So the golden nugget here is that you are not comparing the element of, let's say, in this case, let me close down the browser. So in this case, I have an article, and I want to apply the article picture. What I'm going to do is not comparing the article, in this case, two images, with article picture. That is, sorry, picture. That are three images in this case. It's, oh yeah, the difference is one image component. That's not the case. What SuperMemo will do is compare the source of the element that now has this template applied. So, template, view source, this. So this already has three image components. So if I apply my article picture, who already has 3 image components, what's going to happen? I already have 3 images. So the golden nugget is not comparing the previous version, in this case article, to the new template version, article picture. No, it's the source version, regardless of the template applied, to the new template being applied. So let's do that. Ctrl-Shift-M, apply template picture, and voila! See, in this case, the only difference is a rearrangement of the components where are positioned in the layout. But I already had 3 because I had 1 extra from the source. If you remember, it was just hidden in the template. So now, if I check the source, view, source. It's already dead, sorry. Well, in this case, it's the same message. Why it doesn't go away the hover? So in this case, it's the same. Now, I will toggle this, view source. It looks the same. I will use the key binding. Cool. Why it looks the same? Because the only difference was that from 2 image components had 3, but I already had 1 exceeding component. So therefore, in practice, was 3 to 3. Therefore, there's nothing being added or skipped. I'm not skipping, regardless of the flags here that were set. I was not skipping anything. Yeah, delete template extras. And you may think, hey, the 3rd image, the painting with the wolf, was extra. Well, it was extra according to the article template, not the source, which is the one I'm comparing against. So therefore, from the source of that element with the article template against the article picture version of the same element doesn't have any exceeding image component, therefore nothing is deleted or even skipped. Cool, right? Then let's do some other example to check this. No pun intended. To check the check template. Let the template flags determine the way in which the template is applied. That didn't tell me anything. So before proceeding, let's actually prepare this. So now my article picture will check the source, the definition. Let the source template flags determine the way in which template is applied. That means that when I will apply a template, I will be using the flags from that template, not from the source. Cool. That is article picture. Now let's go to the registry and let's check the article. Oh man, I will reduce this so I can click. Okay. In this case is both. So now I will just check delete template extras. It's only one checked. Delete template extras. And reminder. Here I have the other one. I have the same. Let's uncheck that. So now I don't have any of those flags. None. But hey, I have the 3rd flag that is check the source. No, I don't want that. I want check the template. Let's do one case by case, so it's easier to follow. And uncheck source, so therefore it's super tedious to do every time you have to follow the menu. Okay, so I will check the template. It's hey, I don't have any flags myself, but I have a flag that will check the flags of whatever I want to apply. So what's going to happen? Check template. Okay. I will be applying the first one, the article. This have 2 image components. 1 image less. So what will happen with the 3rd image? Let's check that. Template. Delete template extras. See, this will take no effect, I could think. Let's check this. Article. And, well, now the rearrangement is lost And let's see. Hey, it's a source extra. Let's check the source. View source. Hey, that's how it is. It was before, very well put together, and this is kind of off. Why? Because half of the screen was one image component, the other half of the screen the other component, and this is actually on over it. Why? Because it is a source extra. So now what I will do is check the source. That's how I want it, right? So in this case, let me undo the changes. Template detach. Okay, and now I will impose it. Why I cannot impose? Because it's still article template. No worries. I saw. Sorry, it was the other one. My mistake. Okay. Okay, now I will impose it. Okay. Yeah, detach it. Okay. So now the source doesn't have any effect. Okay. So now let's do the same, but let's change the flag from the article template. And instead of delete template extras, we will check the skip source extras. So in this case, I have 3 images. Cool. The article template has 2. So what's going to happen now with the article? Boom, it's gone. The 3rd image component is gone. Why? There were no flags to skip that, which is true. There were no flags for that. But was still flag that, hey, check the template flags. So this could be useful if you have quite a decent amount of templates, that you can fine tune this. So instead of having the templates from the source, article, and item, let's say the default templates, or item picture, item, article, article picture. So other than that, if you want to fine tune this, you will do it on those other templates. So when you apply the template, you can get rid of stuff you don't want to, or pre-add. So let's say that you have an item for language learning, and you want to pre-add sound component, so you don't need to add it yourself. And let's say a template for typing, and you don't want an image. You want the full screen for just the text and to type in. You don't want an image. Then you will use the flags to get rid of the images, because let's actually use this. I have the default, right? What do we have here? Images. Okay. So for the sake of the example, I will get rid of this manually. Okay, let me double check. Now I have just one image component. The flags says check the template, the flag. So the flag of the item template is check template. What is going to happen now? That the template they're going to use have no flags at all. So what's going to check? Let's check that. So I will apply the spelling template. Hey, why I have the image now? Because it was already there. And now I don't have any flag. And the only flag active is to check the flags from the template I'm going to use. But this template doesn't have any flags. Therefore, it's the same in practice that there were no flag to begin with. This flag, the first one, delete template extras. And since the spelling template doesn't have an image, it will be gone. But the point is that you can work out the reason. Wait, that was not what I was expecting. Why? Let me check the templates of the element I already have versus the template that I will apply. Another golden nugget is that when you do this, now I have a spelling template. If I do template, and now I do, hey, let's skip source extras. It's the same. But hey, this is not on this item. It's not item by item case. This change is template wise. So I have set this flag to all elements that in this case will be items with the spelling template applied. So this is huge. That means that if you don't know exactly what you're doing, you don't understand power flags, it's very, very likely you're actually deleting information from your collection. In the sense that you're getting rid of, you're mass deleting components. And perhaps with this action, now it's not the case, but imagine you have a few thousand. You will have potentially deleted 1,000 to 1,000 images from your items altogether. And guess what? In SuperMemo, there's no undo. No undo. So what I suggest is start like I'm doing now in this video. That's a backup. Mess around with a backup of your own collection instead of pretending with a new collection that it will be just minimum, one image there and there and so on. I suggest to use a backup of your genuine collection. You will remember what you have done with images and so on. Experiment until you understand the flow. And then, okay, now that I get it, I will customize my own templates and I will apply the first two are the two groups, the first two or the two latest, the third and fourth. It's not a golden rule, but based on my experience when I was using multiple templates, I suggest the fourth templates that are default to only do check source, check template. And the other ones that the specialized to have these flags. Unless for whatever reason you never want images in your items or stuff like this. So when you have spelling, it's just spelling without any picture, stuff like this, you could customize even the built-in templates, including video and so on. It's not limited to the article and item. Any multiple choice, pronunciation, sound, spelling, even tasks, YouTube, video, and so on. Same as always. So I hope this video has been useful. I know that it takes a while to get it. So I'm assuming that even with this video, it requires some genuine practice to fully get it. I did some performance in this video that I pretended to not know what will happen, but I knew what I was doing. But it was to create the different situations you may face. Nothing more to add today. This video has been helpful, and see you incrementally.